Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are reading with the Course Companion groups, and this is for day 155 in the reading with the Course Companions by Emily Bennington and Robert Perry. We are reading out of the complete and annotated edition of A Course in Miracles. So I don't have their commentary yet, but I'm going to go ahead and read ahead, and then I will read their commentary when it is published. Cameo 21, you do not realize how much you hate each other. After the end of chapter 12, section 2 of the text, which is Fear as a Call for Love, there is a personal message that, in the special messages, is dated September 13th and 14th, 1966. It is written to both Helen and Bill and speaks quite frankly about the dark side of their relationship, the side they would rather avoid, yet the side that threatens to carry the day. It is the kind of relationship counsel that so many relationships could no doubt benefit from, yet it is perhaps the most daunting to accept and carry out. You have no idea of the intensity of your wish to get rid of each other. This does not mean that you are not strongly impelled toward each other, but it does mean that to love is not your only emotion. Because your love has become more an awareness, the conflict can no longer be settled by your previous attempts to minimize the fear. The love makes attack untenable, but you still feel the fear. Instead of trying to resolve this directly, you have a strong tendency to try to escape from the love. Yet, this is the last thing you would want to escape from. And even if you did, you can escape from everything else, but not from this. Be glad indeed that there is no escape from salvation. Footnote 1. All quotations without page numbers in this cameo are from Helen's notes. Throughout these cameo essays, we have corrected spelling errors in dictated material for ease in reading. The message opens by saying that Helen and Bill are in denial about just how much they want to get rid of each other. They do love each other, and this love pulls them toward one another, but they also fear each other, and this fear is the desire to pull away. They have been trying to minimize the fear, the wish to get rid of each other, but now they have become more in touch with the love. You might think this would make the fear go away, but instead it has simply thrown the fear into sharp relief. So now they are stuck with conflicting emotions that are pulling them in opposite directions. The solution seems to be to dampen down the love again so that it no longer highlights the fear, allowing them to return to their old strategy of minimizing the fear. Now, with both love and fear reduced to manageable levels, things can return to calm. Yet the love, as Jesus says, is the last thing you would want to escape from. And even if they believe they want to, they can't actually do it. For how can they escape from reality itself? And here we are, this is Jesus again. You do not realize how much you hate each other. You will not get rid of this until you do realize it, for until then you will think that you want to get rid of each other and keep the hatred. Yet, if you are each other's salvation, what can this mean except that you prefer attack to salvation? Be glad that neither your reality nor your salvation is a matter of your preference, for you have much cause for joy. But that cause is not of your making. But that the cause is not of your making is surely obvious. You do hate and fear each other, and your love, which is very real, is totally obscured by it. How can you know the meaning of love unless it is total? Jesus begins this second paragraph by repeating the same basic idea with which he began the first. They do not realize how intense is their hatred for each other. Then he explains the reason for his emphasis on this. The only way they can get rid of the hatred is to first recognize its full extent. Only then will they see just how ugly it is, and only then will they understand that the hatred itself is the problem. Until then, they will think the other person is the problem, and so they will want to get rid of each other and keep the hatred. This is the solution they would opt for on their own. Each of them would throw the other under the bus, leaving both of them with their hatred as their only friend. Thankfully, however, their preferences do not control reality, and the reality is that they have much cause for joy. For in the person right in front of them stands their salvation, and shining right below their hatred and their fear is a love that, rather than being weak and unsure, is real and is total. Uncovering such a love would be their greatest happiness, and that is why they should be so motivated to let go of everything that obscures it. This will be a very difficult period for you, but it will not be for so long. But it will not be so for long. You are in danger, but you will be helped, and nothing will happen. But you cannot remain in darkness, and this will be the way out. So you cannot remain in darkness, and this will be the way out. Look as calmly as you can upon your hatred, for if we are to deny the denial of truth, we must first recognize what we are denying. Remember that knowledge precedes denial, and that the separation was a descent from magnitude to littleness. And so the way back is to retrace the way to magnitude. The reason this will be a very difficult period is that they need to face their hatred. And while they are pondering whether to do that or not, this same hatred will be masquerading as objective truth and trying to drive them apart and perhaps even end their relationship, which seems implied by, "You are in danger, but nothing will happen." They need to look at their hatred before they deny it, because rejecting something is only meaningful if you know exactly what you are rejecting. Otherwise, that rejection is an arrow shot into the dark that will surely miss its target. Logically speaking, you have to know something before you can deny it. In the separation, we denied the magnitude that we innately knew, thus reducing ourselves to a state of littleness. Now we need to go the other way. We need to fully know our hatred, the source of our littleness, so we can deny it and thus return to magnitude. In looking at our hatred, though, we need to do so calmly as you can. For by treating the hatred as too inconsequential to provoke a serious reaction, too unconsequential to provoke a serious reaction, this calmness contains the seeds of letting it go. Your hatred is not real, but it is real to you. It hides what you really want. Surely you are willing to look upon what you do not want without fear, even if it frightens you, if you can thereby get rid of it. All right, so surely you are willing to look upon what you do not want without fear, even if it frightens you, if you can thereby get rid of it. For you cannot escape salvation, and you will not escape fear until you want salvation. Be not afraid of this journey into fear, for it is not your destination. We will walk through it in safety, for peace is not far, and you will be led in its light. The final paragraph is a plea for Bill and Helen to act on what has been the main point of the entire message: the need to look at their hatred of each other. What does Jesus mean by looking at the hatred without fear, even if it frightens you? To understand this, we can liken the hatred to a tumor in the body. The tumor itself may be frightening, but this is all the more reason you want to look at it on an X-ray. For until you look, nothing can be done about it. Despite its fearful nature, then, you can look at it without fear, because looking leads directly to the surgery that will remove it. Therefore, this journey into fear, the hatred and fear being two sides of the same coin, need not actually be a source of fear. It can actually be a source of hope. Hope that the tumor will soon be gone. And Jesus promises that they'll be guided safely through this dark valley and on to the peace that awaits them just the other side. All they need to supply is the willingness to look. And that is Cameo 21. You do not realize how much you hate each other. Thank you for joining with me. I will read Robert Perry or Emily Bennington's commentary when it is published. Thank you.